Hello friends, and welcome to Storytime. My name is Miss Maureen, and let's start off by singing our hello song. When we sing hello, we will salute, and when we sing friends, we'll take our two fingers and have them give each other a hug. Hello friends, hello friends, hello friends, it's time to say hello. Good job! This upcoming Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Do you know who Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is? He was a very brave American who fought for the rights for all Americans to be treated equally. He helped encourage many others to fight alongside him and after him. To honor Martin Luther King, today we are going to read books and sing some songs that celebrate unity, community, friendship, love, respect, and bravery. I am going to add a little book about Martin Luther King at the end of the story time if you are interested in learning a little bit about him today. Otherwise, we have lots of books about him and the whole civil rights movement for all ages here in the library if you'd like to learn a little bit more about him and the movement on your own time. Let's learn a couple of words using American Sign Language to help us talk about the ideas of unity, community, love, respect. Let's learn how to sign the word together. What letter does together start with? T. Yeah, together starts with the letter T. T for together. T. Do you remember how to sign the word together? We use it in a song sometimes. We're going to use it in a song today. To sign the word together, you take your two fists with your thumbs up and put your fists together, and then keeping them together, we're going to move them in a circular motion like we're stirring a big pot. Together, together, together. Good job! Let's also learn the sign for community. What letter does community start with? Community. Yeah, community starts with the letter C. C is for community. To sign the word community, you want both of your hands to be flat, and you're going to take the tips of your fingers and touch them together. Touch, and then switch your hands top to bottom and touch again. And you can just do that a couple of times, or you can do that while moving your hands in front of your body. Community. Community. Good job! Now, if you're talking about Martin Luther King or his legacy, you can talk about how he promoted togetherness in order to build a stronger community for everyone. Before we go on to our first book today, let's sing our alphabet together. You can pad along with me at home, you can sing along with me, or you can sign. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Good job, friends. Our first book today is called You Matter by Christian Robinson. It's a short, simple, but sweet book about how everybody, no matter who you are, how you're feeling right now, what you're going through, what other people say you should feel. No matter what, you matter. Respect is important to unity, and respect starts at the smallest level with ourselves. You have to learn to respect yourself and the people closest to you first. Unity and respect are important on every level. You matter. You matter. The small stuff too small to see. Those who swim with the tide, and those who don't. The first to go, and the last. You matter. When everyone thinks you're a pest, when something is just out of reach, when everyone is too busy to help, you matter. If you fall down, if you have to start all over again, even if you're really gassy, you matter. Sometimes home is far away. Sometimes someone you love says goodbye. Sometimes you feel lost and alone, but you matter. Old and young. The first to go and the last. The small stuff, too small to see. You matter. The end. So today's a little bit different. I don't have a felt board activity for us to do, but I do have a couple songs for us. And our first one is going to feature a couple of my friends, and maybe you'll recognize them. If you do recognize them, you can shout them out at home. Or if you'd rather, you can do some hand movements with me while we sing the song. So let's sing it together once, just you and me, and then we'll sing it with my friends. Do you remember the sign for friends? Friends? We're going to use that one first. We'll sing, friends, friends, 1, 2, 3. All my friends are here with me. You're my friend, you're my friend, you're my friend, you're my friend. Friends, friends, 1, 2, 3. All my friends are here with me. Good job. Let's sing it together, you, me, and all of our friends. Friends, friends, 1, 2, 3. All my friends are here with me. You're my friend, you're my friend, you're my friend, you're my friend. Friends, friends, 1, 2, 3. All my friends are here with me. Good job, friends. You're really good at that one. Our next song, I think you probably know it. It's called If You're Happy and You Know It. Because I know for me, when I'm respecting myself and when I'm respecting others, and when people are respecting me, it makes me so happy. So let's stand up, or stay seated if you want. You can sing this song in your chair. I'm going to stand up. If you'd like to join me, please do so. Let's start with clapping. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Good job. Can we stomp our feet? Let's try that. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. Good job. How about, can we shout hooray? If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! Good job, friends! Why don't we finish up by doing all three together? We will clap, stomp, and shout hooray. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, stomp, stomp, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp, hooray! If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp, hooray! Good job, guys! Why don't you join me back in our seated position? Our next book is called Ron's Big Mission by Rose Blue and Corin J. Naden. This is a story about a real little boy, and he lived in the 1950s, so that is 70 years ago. It doesn't feel like a very long time, but things have changed a lot since the 50s. And a lot of these changes are thanks to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but also to people like Ron, even little boys. It takes a lot of bravery to change something, but if you believe in yourself, if you respect yourself, that's all it takes to find that bravery. Ron's Big Mission. Ron's Big Mission. There's Ron. You're up early this morning, Ron. What's the rush? Asked Mrs. McNair. Come and have your breakfast. I made some oatmeal. I have to go, Mama, says Ron, tying his sneakers. I have something to do this morning. You always have something to do, said his mother with a smile. Just be home by lunchtime, okay? Ron was 9 years old. That morning, he left his house with a plan. He'd been thinking about it for a long time. It was a beautiful South Carolina summer day, and Ron looked up at the blue, blue sky. Someday, he thought, he would be up there, flying a plane. He wanted to be a pilot when he grew up. But today Ron had something else on his mind. Something very important. Ron walked down the street as fast as he could. He didn't want to be late. "Hi, Ron," the grocer called from the front of his store. "There you are, just in time for a donut." "Morning, Mr. Douglas," said Ron. "Thank you, but there's someplace I've got to be." And Ron kept on walking. Down by the schoolyard, Ron saw his friend Carl shooting baskets. "All right, you made it," called Carl. "Hi, Carl," said Ron. "I wish I could stay, but I've got something important to do." "More important than basketball on summer vacation," said Carl. "Are you kidding?" Ron laughed. He loved to play basketball, but not today. Today was too important. Ron kept on walking. When Ron got to the Lake City Public Library, he stopped. This was it. He was hot from walking so fast, and he was nervous too. He took a deep breath, lifted his head high, and went inside. Mrs. Scott was busy getting ready for all the people who would be using the library today. As the head librarian, she had to make sure that everything was neat and orderly. Mrs. Scott looked up to welcome her first visitor of the day. She smiled as Ron walked in. He was her best customer. Ron gave a little wave to Mrs. Scott and went right to the shelves. It took Ron a while to find some books. He always looked for books that showed children who looked like him. But that was hard. There were not many books about black kids on the shelves. At last, Ron found some books on airplanes. He took the books and started to walk to the front desk. Ron felt nervous, and his hands felt a little sweaty, but he knew what he wanted to do. Mrs. Fielding, a white lady who was often in the library, stopped him. "You can give me the books, and I'll check them out for you, Ron," she said gently. "No thanks, Mrs. Fielding," Ron said. "I'm going to do it all by myself." "But, Ron," she started to say. Ron was already on his way to the front desk. He put the books on the counter. "I'd like to check these out, please," said Ron. The desk clerk didn't look at him. Didn't she hear me? Ron wondered. Ron knew what he had to do. He jumped up on the counter. He wanted the desk clerk to know he was serious. "I'd like to check out these books," he said quietly. At first, the desk clerk and Mrs. Scott just looked at each other. "You know you can't check out books, Ron," said Mrs. Scott. "You can read them here. That's the rule. Only white people can check out books from the library." Ron looked at Mrs. Scott and the desk clerk politely, but he would not budge. "I always read them here. Today I want to check them out," said Ron. Mrs. Scott and the desk clerk did not know what to do. Ron wouldn't get off the counter. People were staring. Finally, the desk clerk called the Lake City police. Two policemen came right over. "Let someone check out the books for you, son," said one of the policemen. "You know the rules." But Ron just shook his head. He would not budge. Now Mrs. Scott called Ron's mother. Mrs. McNair came to the library very quickly. "I know how you feel, baby," she said, "but you have to follow the rules." "I can't, Mama," Ron told her. "It's wrong. The rules are not fair. Why can't I check out books like everyone else?" No one said anything. Not the desk clerk, not Mrs. Scott, not the policeman, not even Ron's mother.
Mrs. Scott looked at Ron. She thought about all the times that Ron came into the library and all the times he sat at the tables for hours looking over so many books. He was her best customer, and she knew what she had to do. Mrs. Scott walked back into her office and started writing. Ron wondered what she was doing. Mrs. Scott returned and handed Ron a library card. His library card. Ron looked at Mrs. Scott and smiled. As he jumped to the floor, he thought he saw her smile too. "I'd like to check out these books, please," he said, handing the card to the desk clerk. The desk clerk took his library card and stamped the cards in the back of the books. "These are due back in 2 weeks," she said. Ron smiled. "Thank you," he said. He tucked the books under his arm and took his mother's hand. Together they walked home. Ron couldn't wait to get to his room and opened to page 1. And this is an author's note about the real Ron McNair. The boy in the book was a real person. He grew into a man who flew planes just like he dreamed he would do. He became an astronaut.
I have a couple more songs for us to sing. This first one that we're going to sing is one that you may know. Certainly if you've watched other story times with me, you probably do know it. We sing it a lot. I really like it. I like the message, and I like the movements that go with it. This song is called "The More We Get Together." And we have some hand movements to do with this song, so let's walk through them really quickly for those that maybe haven't seen it before or just need a little refresher. So we're going to sing, "The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier." Take your 2 hands and flip up. "The happier we'll be, because your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be." Good job. Let's sing it a little faster together. Even if you haven't done the hand movements before, I encourage you to try. The more you practice, the better you'll get at it. Let's start with more. The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be, because your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Good job. Let's sing it again, but let's change it up a little bit. Let's sing "The More We Sing Together." Can we do that? The more we sing together. The more we sing together, 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 the more we sing together, the happier we'll be, because your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we sing together, the happier we'll be. Good job. Let's do one more. Let's sing "The More We Share Together." So share is like sing, but smaller. Just do it right here on our hand. The more we share. The more we share together, 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 the more we share together, the happier we'll be, because your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we share together, the happier we'll be. Good job! Our last song is about respect. We have some really simple movements you can do to follow along at home, or you can just listen, or you can try to sing with me. Let's sing it through once, and then we'll do it again once we've heard it. So we'll start like this. Respect for you, respect for me. RESPECT. Respect is something we can show when we treat each other right. Good job. Let's do it again. Respect for you, respect for me. RESPECT. Respect is something we can show when we treat each other right. Good job, friends. I have one more book for us. This one is called Say Something by Peter H. Reynolds. It's just a story about how everyone has something inside of them to say. Listen to your heart, and when you're ready, say something.
Say something. Say something. The world needs your voice. Mine? Yes, yours. Go ahead. It doesn't need to be perfect, as long as it's from your heart. You don't have to be loud. Powerful words can be a whisper. You can say something in so many ways, with words, with action, with creativity. If you see someone lonely, say something, just by being there for them. If you see an empty canvas, say something with your brush. If you see an empty lot, say something by planting a seed and watching it bloom. If you see someone being hurt, say something by being brave. Hey, stop! If you see something beautiful, say something with a poem. Painted meadow, splashed with rainbows. If you have a brilliant idea, say something with confidence. Eureka! If you want to show the world who you are, say something with style. Ta-da! If you are angry, say something to help people understand. You made me feel invisible. That really hurt. I'm really sorry. If you see an injustice, say something peacefully. No more hurting people. Peace. Inspire others to do the same. Sometimes you'll say something and no one will be listening. But keep saying what is in your heart, and you will find someone who listens. Keep saying it, and you may be surprised to find the whole world listening. If you are grateful for being alive, quietly say something to the stars, to the universe. Some people find it easier to say something than others. I hope, I believe, join us. I wish. Together we can. I'm ready to change the world. I imagine. But everyone has something to say. So when you're ready, say something. Your voice can inspire, heal, and transform. Your voice can change the world. Are you ready to say something? Peter Hamilton Reynolds. The end.
Well, friends, that's it for Storytime today. I know it was a little different than usual, but I hope that you had fun. I certainly did. We have an activity coming up for you to do at home, and then after that I have the story about Martin Luther King Jr. if you would like to learn a little bit about his life, his legacy, and the impact he made. If you're interested in our other resources or our other story times, you can visit us at our website, Facebook, Instagram, or email me at the email listed below. We are still doing our outdoor story times. The day of the week changes every week depending on that week's weather, so please do email me if you're interested. That way you can keep up to date on the changing schedule. Why don't we sing goodbye? We are going to wave and we're going to clap. We wave goodbye like this, we wave goodbye like this. We clap our hands for all our friends and wave goodbye like this. Bye, friends.
Today we are going to make a peace chain. This chain represents how each of the individual links grows stronger and greater as you add them to more links. We are more powerful and we are stronger when we work together and when we are united as one. So for this craft you're going to need a couple pieces of colored paper. You can pick as many colors as you like. You'll also want some scissors, some glue, and something to color or write with. First we're going to start by cutting our paper lengthwise, so along the long side into strips.
Now that we have our strips cut out, if you'd like, you can use your markers or colored pencils or crayons or pencil to draw or write different things that you think represent or help a strong community or things that make you happy.
So for example, I did working together, listening, love, say something, and sharing. What else can you come up with? So now we want to make our chain. So take one of your pieces of paper. We want to roll it together so both ends touch, and put a little glue right there and glue them together. If you drew something or wrote something on it, make sure that that is on the outside. Now that we have one done, we want to start adding to it. So you'll start taking other strips of paper, thread them through your first circle, and glue their ends together. And you just keep adding strips until you've added them all. Martin's big words. Martin's big words. The life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Everywhere in Martin's hometown, he saw the signs, white only. His mother said these signs were in all southern cities and towns in the United States. Every time Martin read the words, he felt bad, until he remembered what his mother told him. You are as good as anyone. In church, Martin sang hymns. He read from the Bible. He listened to his father preach. These words made him feel good. When I grow up, I'm going to get big words too. Martin grew up. He became a minister like his father, and he used the big words he had heard as a child from his parents and from the Bible. Everyone can be great. He studied the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. He learned how the Indian nation won freedom without ever firing a gun. Martin said love when others said hate. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. He said together when others said separate. He said peace when others said war. Sooner or later, all the people of the world will have to discover a way to live together. In 1955, on a cold December day in Montgomery, Alabama, Rosa Parks was coming home from work. A white man told her to get up from her seat on the bus so he could sit. She said no and was arrested. Montgomery's black citizens learned of her arrest. It made them angry. They decided not to ride the buses until they could sit anywhere they wanted. For 381 days, they walked to work and school and church. They walked in rain and cold and in blistering heat. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them until the white city leaders that had agreed they could sit anywhere they wanted. When the history books are written, someone will say, there lived black people who had the courage to stand up for their rights. In the next 10 years, black Americans all over the South protested for equal rights. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them. White ministers told them to stop. Mayors and governors and police chiefs and judges ordered them to stop. But they kept on marching. Wait. For years I have heard the word wait. We have waited more than 340 years for our rights. They were jailed and beaten and murdered. But they kept on marching. Some black Americans wanted to fight back with their fists. Martin convinced them not to, by reminding them of the power of love. Love is the key to the problems of the world. Many white Southerners hated and feared Martin's words. A few threatened to kill him and his family. His house was bombed. His brother's house was bombed. But he refused to stop. Remember, if I am stopped, this movement will not be stopped, because God is with this movement. The marches continued. More and more Americans listened to Martin's words. He shared his dreams and filled them with hope. I have a dream that one day in Alabama, little black boys and little black girls will join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. After 10 years of protest, The lawmakers in Washington voted to end segregation. The white-only signs in the South came down. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. cared about all Americans. He cared about people all over the world, and people all over the world admired him. In 1964, he won the Nobel Peace Prize. He won it because he taught others to fight with words, not fists. Martin went wherever people needed him. In April 1968, he went to Memphis, Tennessee. He went to help garbage collectors who were on strike. He walked with them, and talked with them, and sang with them, and prayed with them. On his second day there, he was shot. He died. His big words are alive for us today.